What's poppin' peeps, it's Jay. In My Hero Academia there are 3 categories that a quirk can fall under: emitter, transformation, and mutant. Today's video is going to be focused on mutant type quirks. Mutant type quirks are abilities that cause the user a permanent abnormality directly related to their power. Mutant type quirks grant bodily structures that grant the user more complex abilities that emitter and transformation quirks cannot safely provide. Oftentimes, they'll bestow prehensile appendages that the user can control or add structures to pre-existing limbs to enhance pre-existing abilities. Mutant type quirks even have the ability to channel certain aspects of their user through them in a similar manner to emitter type quirks. With that simple explanation, let's rank the top 5 mutant type quirks, and today I'm going to be joined by my friend Mr.Energy. He is a regular guest on my videos who makes very in-depth anime and manga videos, so make sure to check him out. But if you like the video, make sure you United States of a smash that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you never miss another upload. Detroit smash the like button, comment, and share. But without further ado, let's get into the video. At number 5 is going to be the quirk Rabbit, kicking off this list. No pun intended. Possessed by number 5 pro hero, Best Girl, Mirako. Rabbit grants Mirako rabbit-like anatomy and abilities. Rabbit grants Rumi functional rabbit features like long ears, large, strong legs, and a fluffy tail. She also possesses a rabbit survival instincts, which alerts her of any nearby danger. Rabbit provides immense leg strength. Through it, Mirako can move around by bouncing and attacking by stomping or kicking. One single ground stomp is capable of generating strong enough wind pressure to disperse even fire.
That's right, this quirk is definitely something that would class as an all-rounder type, so to speak. She's agile, strong, fast, and those legs, man, makes her look twice as good while she's doing her job. I feel as though this quirk is definitely the type that fits one of the top pro heroes. Not so much the type of quirk you'd think that would be one of the best, but she most certainly has been able to prove not only the fanbase wrong with this power, but plenty of villains as well. At our number 4 spot, we have Suyu Asui's quirk, Frog. Now, this quirk is definitely, like I mentioned in our last segment, one you wouldn't think would make it up here in a top 5 list, but there's more to this extremely original power than just looking like a frog all the time. Asui with her quirk can bring up so many properties to the table. Obviously, agility properties aside, we should take a look at things such as her super acidic stomach acid that can be used as both a projectile and a trapping device. This allows Asui to create a very dangerous build of stomach acid that can burn through a vast array of things. Not only that, it can also be holstered for a large amount of time around her stomach lining. And yes, that is what we've seen from that one fan service moment in season 2 of the anime. The only downside to this quirk that I can really point out is that if Asui is surrounded in an extremely cold area, both her quirk and her body will enable a forced hibernation, so to speak. But both of those things have nothing on her super move, Camouflage, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that speaks for itself, but allow me to explain anyway. Camouflage allows Asui to change the colour of her body to match the environment that she's currently in, allowing her to appear completely invisible in said environment she's in at that time. The quirk is oddly in-depth compared to how basic it sounds, and with the powers this quirk holds alone, I know for sure that Asui is going to become an amazing hero in the future.
Flying into the number 3 spot is the quirk Fierce Wings, possessed by number 2 pro hero Hawks. Fierce Wings grants Keigo 2 large, red wings made up of dozens of feathers. Keigo can freely manipulate each individual feather using his mind. They also vary in size, strength, and even cutting ability. Keigo can even use his feathers as bladed weapons. Each individual feather acts as a sensor that can feel people and objects around them by feeling the vibrations they produce. When I first saw this quirk, I thought it was pretty underwhelming. For the number 2 pro hero Hawks to have it, it just seemed like 2 giant wings. But once I looked into it more, it became one of my favorite quirks within the entire My Hero Academia universe. First off, the wings themselves are absolutely fabulous. But with max feathers, they make Hawks one of the fastest and most mobile characters within the universe, alongside Gran Torino. While this quirk doesn't do much for increasing the physical strength of the user, this quirk is still lethal in up close combat. Due to the sharpness of the feathers, Hawks is able to pull 2 giant feathers and use them as swords. Plus, with the speed of the quirk, Hawks is lethal up close and can kill an opponent with relative ease. But this quirk doesn't stop there. The feathers can be sent out individually and controlled with telekinesis. Hawks has shown multiple times that he is able to send his feathers off on their own while he himself is doing something else. Like during the fight with Hood, he was fighting Nomus. He used his feathers to carry people off to safety. And during that fight, Hawks used his feathers to save 76 people in a collapsing building by having his feathers locate people just by the normal human noises that people produce. Hawks is even able to listen in on conversations with individual feathers just by the vibrations that bounce off the feathers. This quirk does get knocked down a few spots due to the weaknesses. First off, if too many feathers are used up, Hawks' speed and flight capabilities are significantly decreased, and if all the feathers are used up, it takes longer than 2 days for the wings to fully regrow. Second, these feathers are extremely weak to fire, because the feathers are easily flammable. But even with these weaknesses, Fierce Wings still takes the number 3 spot on this list.
Here at our number 2 spot on the list is one that isn't exactly talked about a lot currently because, well, it's not exactly a top priority at the moment if you know what I mean. That quirk being the USJ Nomu's Super Regeneration quirk. This is a quirk that, to be honest, was a large pinnacle in the story of My Hero. Hell, this is the quirk that basically put All Might on his last legs of using One For All, really. Arguable, of course, but All Might essentially had to overclock his usage of One For All to beat Nomu with Super Regeneration, ultimately making him a walking time bomb through most of the series after that point. Super Regen, like I just said, I really enjoy this quirk, just because of the sheer menacing presence that it had in the action-packed finale of the USJ arc. It quite literally hit different, and I'd say putting it at the number 2 spot is super fair. It's a quirk that is just an absolute powerhouse to go up against, and if All Might didn't have that spare One For All just to burn, it would have taken him down for sure.
Coming in at number 1 is the quirk Chimera, possessed by Heroes Rising villain Chodro Khan, also known as Chimera. I debated on whether or not if this quirk qualifies for this list because of it being introduced as a movie exclusive quirk, but due to the movie being canon and just how good this quirk is, I had to put it on this list. Chimera grants Chodro the characteristics of various animals. He can enlarge his animal traits to monstrous proportions, granting him a tremendous boost in strength and durability. Chimera is also capable of expelling fire from his mouth. The fire can also be shot in the form of a large beam of energy. Chimera has nothing but good things to say about it. First, it grants the user incredible physical strength. Chimera was able to take on multiple Class 1A students without much effort, and could even throw punches that created wind pressure, such as people like Midoriya and All Might. The durability granted by this quirk was able to effortlessly block a reciprocal burst from Tenya Ida, plus the fire that's produced from the mouth of Chimera was strong enough to overpower Shoto Todoroki's own fire. But this quirk gets even better due to the user being able to further enhance their physical abilities. The user also grows wings on their arms. I'm not sure if these wings are capable of flying, but if it is, that's another bonus point. Plus, in this powered up form, the fire breath turns into a laser beam that was powerful enough to burn down an entire forest and could even overpower Red Riot Unbreakable. While we didn't get to see this quirk much in action, what we did see of it, it was extremely impressive and is a quirk that I desperately want to see return. I really want to see Chimera go up against someone like Endeavor or Mirko, but Chimera has earned its number 1 spot on this list.